Probably goes without saying any further that this is your first and last spoiler warning for what's going to be pretty much a full break, maybe not a full breakdown because I don't really want to run it scene by scene like the way that maybe Angry Joe or the other personalities online do, but frankly talk about the other things that I didn't manage to tap on in that spoiler-free discussion that I had in my car on the eve of me catching Spider-Man Brand New Day. And considering how crazy everyone fucking is to talk about spoilers, I guess I might as well join them, considering that no one this day has any sort of decorum in that regard on social media. It's almost like they get sexually aroused by it. Now, granted, I know that to a certain extent, I might be speaking into the ether for no one to hear, considering that with the way that technology is these days and when we are in the age of artificial intelligence and bots and maintenance, there's a really good chance that an awful lot of these accounts on Twitter, Instagram, and Threads are simply just bots generated by a smaller amount of individuals that simply are just trying to garner as many likes and follows and shares and reposts as much as possible. Because thank the Lord that I saw the movie last night, Friday, July 31st. I am recording this on August 1st, Spider-Man Day, out of all days. So happy Spider-Man Day for those who celebrate, just like I more or less sort of do it, even though it's Spider-Man or Batman Day for me all the time. And not even 24, or if you want to count in Thursday with those showings, 48 hours, and people are just full-blown posting spoilers without taking the actual necessary precautions to cover them up, whether it be on Threads, which have legitimate protocols and functions and features to block spoilers with either like the little star sparkly thing, so that way you can unlock it if you want to do so, or the blur effect for images. On Discord, a similar thing that they have going for in terms of brackets so that you're able to cover them up, or simply just typing out an actual spoiler warning at the top, hitting enter a couple of times before we see it. Because again, at this point, I'm just an old man yelling at clouds, because it's insane how literally last night I go into Twitter, where I have an awful lot of these keywords muted and blocked, certain accounts just completely blocked and shadow banned, and yet all it takes is for me to go to the trending page just to catch up on news that don't have to do with Spider-Man, have to do with like gaming and other things. And one of the headlines is a legitimate spoiler that for some reason just doesn't get filtered out, even though I went over to my muted words and there it is, Spider-Man, Brand New Day, all these words, Peter Parker, Tom Holland, MJ, all these words are just Ned, all these words I have blocked, and yet Twitter still says, hey, look at this. And thank God I had already seen the movie by then. But imagine if I hadn't. Imagine if I was delayed by just 24 hours or so till the Saturday to actually catch up on the movie. And even then, you already have just so many people going crazy over on Threads, and literally, like, I don't know what it gets inside of these people's brains, assuming that they are real people, to the point where they're like, it's not even a spoiler, it's from a video that I saw online. That doesn't make it okay, you fucking idiot, you fucking cunt. Jesus. It doesn't make it okay. It's so insane. I'm sorry. This is one of the few times I actually rage out on camera in a way that you guys probably never seen, in an unhinged level that I hardly ever reach, but it just doesn't make any sense. What is it about Spider-Man and what is it about Marvel movies? But I gotta be honest, I feel like more out of all the characters, it's really about Spider-Man, that immediately the night of, people, again, don't do the precautions, just go like, guys, look at this cinema experience, and it's in the theater and you're filming the fucking movie. Why don't you just try watching the fucking movie? Why don't you actually get immersed in this? It's why I barely go to the movie theaters in the fucking first place these days. Is because you have that fucking idiot, these kids with these carrot top hairs and trying to bring the 90s back with their fucking clothes that are oversized, with their parachute pants looking like fucking, those traditional ghost costumes or whatever the fuck. And they're recording right there in the theater, and I can actually see some of them out of the corner of my eye. Fuck you. What the fuck is wrong with you? And it's for this very reason that I'm just so glad for certain things like IMAX and things like that. And unfortunately, Spider-Man missed out on IMAX because they're currently still showing the Odyssey. But I tried to get like the next one up possible in terms of price, because as classless as it's gonna sound, it keeps all these fucking idiots out of the theater, because I know that they're not gonna be able to afford it. They're too busy trying to pay off their fucking new iPhones that they get every year. And at this point, like I said, I'm just talking into the ether, because at this point, there's some of these people that I'm trying to criticize, I'm trying to bring back down to reality and going like, hey, why the fuck are you doing this? It just doesn't make any sense to me. And again, it makes me rage to no end how they are not even able, to the point where, like I said, I almost want to think that these are just bots, especially when some of them start to type out in a way where I'm like, all right, you're making way too many typos, you're not really speaking in proper English. It's almost like dyslexic writing. And not to cast shade at dyslexic people, but even actual dyslexic people can't type like this, to the point where I'm like, yeah, these actually might be bots that are quote unquote arguing with other people over on threads to trying to say that this isn't even a spoiler. What are you talking about? This isn't a spoiler, and they're full on showing one of the biggest plot reveals in Brand New Day. And I just can't fathom it, and just it's just insane, to the point where it legitimately kills. To the point where I'm almost trying to start developing this like neurological process of trying to really just disenfranchise myself with the Marvel movies going forward, specifically Doomsday, because I know I can't go see Doomsday opening weekend. I missed out on the tickets. It's mostly my fault, I will admit. I should have known to put an alarm for 6 o'clock. But naturally, by the time I woke up, they were all gone for that weekend. And there are some available for the little Christmas Day, and it would actually be kind of a special treat for to watch Doomsday on Christmas Day. But it just kills me knowing that for a full-blown week, I might as well just not stay. It really is. It's not even hyperbole anymore. You literally have to delete the apps and not go on them. So if you want to reach me, you literally would have to like text me. You need to get my number, because you won't be able to hit me up on Instagram, because at this point we're at this like dead internet theory space where you could have Instagram installed. You can, like I said, mute these accounts, mute these words, ban certain accounts, block them, do everything in your power, and yet you refresh your feed and there's a clip from the movie, only because the algorithm says it takes note that in the past you looked up superhero-ish stuff, so it's just gonna send you this clip because it's now trending as a meme, like the Odyssey stuff. Like, as soon as that meme with Robert Pattinson saying that word starts spreading around, then that's what people are gonna put. I know that just refreshing that feed, even with those hashtags or those keywords banned, it's still gonna show up. Or going over on Threads, someone's gonna post it. I saw one where they said the name, and it's a very blatant spoiler, but because they used a very specific name without ever mentioning the words Spider-Man or Marvel or even X-Men, they're pretty much spoiling. And it's like, you don't realize that someone refreshing their feed, they're gonna look at that, put two and two together, connect the dots, because arguably they're gonna be smarter than you and be able to pinpoint to the specific spoiler. No, you didn't think about that, because all you thought about were the likes and the views and the shares and all the fucking facetious stuff that you fucking care about. And it's really what's killing me with these the Marvel movies, or even just in general tentpole films, because I'm so sick and done with this thing, man. I'm just too old for this at this point anymore. I really am.